WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
All right, welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. We had a tornado watch at one point today. That's been canceled. We've been monitoring this setup for a slight risk of severe weather. It's been a somewhat conditional risk of severe weather. That's why we didn't call it a First Alert Weather Day. But it's still one of those setups in which you can end up with one or two warnings. I'm going to let meteorologist Lauren Linehan grab the radar controls here as we actually go to the radar here. I'm going to show you where it's raining quite heavily right now. This is AccuTrack radar at the moment showing the rainfall rates, and I wanted to point out in the St. Clair County, this is where we have some of the heaviest of the rain of the day that's falling, tracking a storm here moving across St. Clair County. Let's go to the full screen though, and we'll take you over to the current view on what's happening there on AccuTrack. And again, no warnings in place right now, but you can see that heaviest rain. This line, it weakened as it moved through Birmingham. There's actually a back edge you can see to this. That's the final push that's moving through. One more little bit of rain. That's a very thin line there, so you may notice the rain picking up briefly where you are. If you're watching here in parts of the Birmingham area, back in towards Pratt City and stretching in towards Tuscaloosa and Cottondale. But out ahead of that, this is where we're getting some much needed rain. That's the thing today. You know, we're not, I know we're talking about the risk of severe weather, but the one positive thing is we're getting some much needed rainfall, and you can see those rainfall amounts with it coming down so heavily. We're seeing over an inch here with this one area, in some areas that really needed it in there where we had those increasing drought conditions across parts of Shelby County. You can see around Alabaster and lifting in towards Springville, but again, that's a look at the radar estimates. But where some of that heaviest rain's fallen, we had one storm. It started around Centerville and it kind of merged with that line there as it's moved to the north, and some of the heaviest rain at this time still impacting I-20 there, Pell City back towards Capri Islands and Lincoln, and this will soon pick up around Coldwater Mountain, so giving you that first alert. There's Raglan, the heavier rainfall, but this is doing pretty much what we expected. Jill is looping along the next 60 minutes, and you can see the back edge of this pushing on through East Alabama, so this will taper off from west to east here 7 to 8 o'clock, and hopefully it gets out of here with very little impact, but just a lot of rain and wind. That's pretty much what we're seeing out of this particular system. But again, that's a look at the next 60 minutes, and still through 7:30, you can see just a little bit of rain that may end up impacting parts of Jefferson County as that tracks there off to the east direction. What meteorologist Lauren Linehan's bringing up is a look at the severe weather indices across the region. And Lauren, we were looking at a setup today, a system that had a lot of wind energy, but I think one of the things that's helped us out here is the lack of instability, and that's one of the reasons that helped to limit that storm intensity across our area. What are you seeing?
Yeah, Wes, exactly what you said. That was kind of the big deciding factor for us. Though there was some instability, there wasn't enough higher up in the atmosphere either to really get things going. So what we have here is showing two of those severe ingredients that we need. You need wind shear, which is a change in wind speed or direction as you go up in height. So you need there to be some difference in the winds between the surface and aloft. And we did have that today. This is showing you the instability in wind shear at around lunchtime today. We had those winds generally coming in out of the south, and then you had faster winds higher up in the atmosphere in the middle levels coming in out of the south and west. So you had that turning with height. When you get that turning, you can get spin and you can create tornadoes. So we had decent wind shear, but as Wes was saying, the thing that was really lacking was instability. That is that storm fuel, which you can see here on the map is the aqua colors here. Now, once you see getting into the greens, the yellows, oranges, the reds, that's a lot of storm fuel, but this is honestly not uncommon. As we get into the fall and winter months, when we do have severe events, oftentimes what you'll see is you are lacking this instability, but you have wind shear. So you have these type of events where you've got decent wind shear, but low instability. And so it's all kind of dependent on whether we can get enough instability. And as we look at how things manifested today, we had a little bit of instability, but not enough. So you may be looking at this and thinking, what in the world am I looking at? That's a terrible doodle. Well, this is actually called a sounding. What I'm showing you here can show us the temperature profile, just the profile of the atmosphere as we go up in height. So at the National Weather Service, about 2 times times a day, they will release a weather balloon up into the atmosphere, and sometimes more frequently if you have severe events. But you release this weather balloon up into the atmosphere, and it's going to be taking different data as it goes up. It's going to be recording temperature data, dew point data, what the wind speeds are, what the directions are as you go up in height. And then it will send that information back down to the surface. And so this is essential for meteorologists to be able to look at and understand what in the world is going on in the atmosphere. So this is a sounding that was taken from this morning. So you've got the surface here. We had winds generally coming in out of the south and east, and then as you went a little higher up in the atmosphere, winds began to turn a little bit more out of the southwest. So you had that wind shear there, but it may be hard to see on your screen, but there are two lines here. The red line is representing temperature. As you go up in height in the atmosphere, temperature is eventually decreasing. That's typically what happens. If you think about when you go up in a plane, if you've ever looked at the little box on the plane that's in front of you, that screen to show what the temperature is, it's a lot colder. Just think about if you're climbing a mountain, it's going to get colder as you go up in height. And our atmosphere typically works the same way, at least in this lower layer here. And then this green line you're seeing here is a dew point. That's showing how much moisture is in the atmosphere, which is also an important ingredient for storm development. So what you may notice, may be able to see here at home on your screen, I know it's kind of faint here, but typically as you go up in height in atmosphere, you want to see temperature decreasing. But closer down to the surface, maybe at what we call the 850, 700 millibar level, higher up in the atmosphere, just a little bit away from the surface, there's what we call a temperature inversion. So instead of temperature decreasing with height, we had an area where there was some warmer air aloft. And what that does is put a lid on the atmosphere. When you have some instability, some of that storm fuel that we had at the surface, what that helps to do is for air to rise and create storms. But if you have a lid over the atmosphere, that little layer of warm air, that's preventing storms from rising. And so that's what we ended up seeing today. Even though we had a little bit of storm fuel to work with, this little layer higher up in the atmosphere acted as a cap, put a lid on the atmosphere, and prevented any storm development. Because if you can't get rising air, you're not going to get robust storms, Wes. And so that was really kind of what sealed the deal for us here today, is that, yeah, there was a little bit of instability. You got a little bit to work with, but if it can't rise, then you're just not going to get any storms.
Yeah, the overall profile, you have to have that overall vertical instability in the atmosphere, and you end up with a lot of things that happen, warm air over cold air and cold air over warm air in situations. That's when we when you end up having a lot of cold air aloft, you end up with those very tall vertical storms and lots of hail growth in those situations. But one thing we can notice today, especially as that line started moving into West Alabama, not a lot of lightning, but certainly no complaints here. Anytime we see these risks often, this was certainly a good time to double check our weather radios, make sure everything's in place. You know, as we get into November and into December, we're getting into that peak fall severe weather season. So there will be more times, I can promise, here over the next several months when we will run into another risk of some stormy weather. But coming up here on First Alert Weather Extra, we'll show you again what's happening on radars. We continue to track that rain across the area, but we've got it's storm track mode for us here today on Weather Extra. Stay with us.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
And being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With First Alert Weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time. These are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your First Alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood with 6 on Your Side Investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert Weather Team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Of course, we've been talking about the storms that have been moving through central Alabama today, but some folks are still being impacted by Hurricane Ian. It came through about a month ago, but we are still seeing issues down in Florida from this powerful hurricane. The state's Department of Agriculture in Florida and Consumer Services says the preliminary damage assessment for agriculture losses from the storm could be up to $1.8 billion. Officials in Florida report that Ian damaged citrus trees, forestry, and infrastructure. Total losses for citrus producers could reach $675 million. Hurricane Ian, in case you forgot, was a Category 4 storm, and it hit in southwest Florida last month. After striking the coast, Ian then brought intense winds and flooding via storm surge to parts of the state. So we've, of course, been talking a lot about the storms here, but another big thing that's happening this week is the Magic City Classic. And so with Magic City Classic week, I know we've had the rain around today, but as we look later in the week, going Friday into Saturday, Sunday, rain chances are looking a little lower on Saturday. And I think we're still going to be dry for the rest of the work week at least, but it is going into Saturday night and Sunday that we do have a first alert for some more rain in the forecast. And I don't think we're going to be seeing anything in the way of thunderstorms, but there is going to be a developing area of low pressure that's going to lift northward from the Gulf of Mexico. And so that could indeed bring a better chance of rain, at least for the latter half of the weekend. But the good news is, as we look at that parade forecast for Saturday morning in Birmingham, kicking off at 8 a.m. If you get there a little early at 7 a.m., we're talking just a 20% chance of a stray shower during the morning. Right now, as it looks for now, the morning hours should be dry. Now, temperatures will be fairly seasonable, maybe a little bit milder with that cloud cover overnight. Oftentimes when you have clouds overnight, have it early in the morning, it may be a few degrees warmer than it would be otherwise. So we've actually bumped up our temperatures, upper 50s, low 60s early in the morning, or into the mid-morning hours at least, on Saturday. But then, of course, the big question is, now what about the game? Is it going to be rained out? Well, I would maybe just plan on having a rain jacket just in case, but this is only if we end up seeing rain come in earlier in the day. Kickoff is at 2:30 at Legion Field, and I think we should be on the dry side by then. We'll keep our fingers crossed at least. You know that forecast can and will change. That's why the WBRC First Alert Weather app is going to be great to have this week, whether you're going to the parade, the game, any events around the Magic City Classic. Certainly going to be handy, and especially today, right? But as we look at that forecast for Saturday, around kickoff at 2:30, temperatures should be in the 60s. Even if it's not raining, just bear in mind that on Sunday, or Saturday, it's likely going to be on the cloudy side. We're just probably not going to see too much in the way of sunshine as that area of low pressure moves in from the Gulf. That is going to bring some cloudiness along with it. By halftime, temperatures in the upper 60s. We may manage to get into the low 70s, some spots on Saturday afternoon, but otherwise just kind of cool and cloudy. But I would have the poncho and rain jacket around just in case. We'll show you, though, when we're expecting that rain to really come in. So here we are Friday morning. If you're kicking off Magic City Classic weekend with anything fun, doing it outside, you should be fine. There are going to be more clouds moving in. Here we are on Saturday morning at 8 a.m., right as the parade kicks off. Still looking dry. You'll see rain, though, off to our south and west. That's part of that low pressure area moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. So could be dry even through a good portion of the afternoon, but then that rain comes in from the southwest and begins to push to the north and east. So I think showers will certainly be possible after sunset Saturday evening and potentially overnight Saturday into early Sunday. So again, I don't see anything in the way of a severe weather threat with this system yet. We'll be keeping you updated throughout the week, but I would plan on Sunday to be the wetter of the 2 days at least, and we'll certainly be watching this. Now, of course, after Magic City Classic weekend, we have Halloween. So the big question is, are we going to be seeing any rain around on Halloween? Well, we'll be letting you know coming up, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt for a look at that super 7-day forecast. And then meteorologist Jill Gilardi takes us on a journey, as always, beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
Remodeling a shower or bath can be tricky with gas prices up and tight monthly budgets. Cost is a real concern, but West Shore Home is helping homeowners get the shower bath they need right now. I'm joined by Kirsten from West Shore Home. And Kirsten, tell us, how is West Shore making bath remodeling affordable?
So Joe, for folks who want to get their bath or shower project done right now, we have a very special offer. We know that monthly budgets are a little bit tight right now, which is why we wanted to make this offer available to everyone. If they give us a call, we have 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means they can get their shower or bath done now and not have to make a payment for 18 full months.
So you're saying people can get their new shower or bath installed right now and not have to worry about making any payments or paying any interest until 2024. That's really helpful.
Definitely. People love this plan because it allows them to be flexible with their finances.
Can we see some projects you've done recently?
Absolutely. So here's one where the homeowner wanted to replace their old fiberglass shower with something more new and modern. So we replaced it with a beautiful marble style shower with an easy low step entry and a beautiful shower door.
That is amazing. Perfect combination of safety and beauty.
It definitely is. So let's take a look at another one. These homeowners were struggling with mold and mildew from their old tile. They were tired of scrubbing. We were able to give them this beautiful new shower that is so much easier to clean. You can get a new shower or bath just like this when you call right now, and you won't have any interest or payments until 2024.
Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, do not put off that shower or bath project any longer. West Shore Home is making it affordable to take care of that bath project right now. West Shore Home is extending this offer for 1 week only. Free installation on all shower and bath projects. And for a limited time, they're doing 18 months of flexible financing. That's no payments and no interest until early 2024. This is an offer you don't want to miss. Call the shower and bath experts at West Shore Home now.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. The good news, some much needed rainfall across Alabama. We're getting some rain now in East Alabama. We've had those developing drought conditions back into Shelby County, but that heaviest of the rain really intensifying now as this pushes in closer to that 231 corridor here, moving across St. Clair County into the Gadsden area, places like downtown Gadsden, the south side, seeing some lightning there and some heavy rain also extending down into Coosa County. So our friends around Rockford, Stewartville, Fayetteville areas and back in towards Sylacauga. Heavy rain moving through. There's one final line here. You can see this back edge. Models are picking up on that drifting through. Looks like Shelby County. The rain comes to an end there after 7:40. But over the next hour, this quickly pulls away and pushing up through Cherokee County. And you can see some showers there in areas back to the southeast as well. But this is all behaving. The tornado watch canceled as we talked with Lauren a few moments ago. The instability, lack of vertical instability has been a factor that really helped us out today with respect to this setup, but no problems with that, right? We certainly didn't want any severe weather out of this. That we'll probably see as we get into November, December, a lot of times we see these marginal slight risk kind of days, and the best news is, or best advice is to just be prepared in case we get that one storm that can be a troublemaker, and that's what the kind of setup that we can see on those marginal and slight risk days. But all this out of here tonight. It will be colder in the morning, so we're talking 40s to start the day, so that fall chill certainly returns early on. 45 here in Jasper, 48 in Rockford, 47 around Center. So break out the long sleeves early in the day. Models show maybe some lingering cloud cover there for the first part of the day, but we'll break into some sunshine. Again, looks like highs tomorrow in the 60s, but cooler for tomorrow as we get into the Thursday time frame. More sunshine, highs in the 70s. Looks like 70s for Friday. A couple nice days on the way. All the events happening for the Magic City Classic. Let's talk a bit about Saturday and Sunday. We've got the Classic Parade Saturday morning. Saturday we've got the Magic City Classic game. It looks like for Saturday that high there 71 degrees. Most of the wet weather is going to come in Saturday night. Don't see a risk for severe weather with this weekend system. Just looks like clouds and rain, and we'll take the wet weather, but most of that rain looks to come in on Sunday. After that, I think during the day some showers on Monday, and we should get that out of here just in time for the trick-or-treating on Monday night. So Halloween coming up here, and it looks like that small chance of rain at least lingering into the first part of the day. Hard to believe November is right around the corner as we go over to meteorologist Jill Gilardi. And Jill, you're watching beyond the 7-day forecast, and I guess the one good thing is a lot of rain with this system. I noticed some of our weather watchers checking in with over a ½ inch of rain.
Yeah, that's great news. As anticipated, we were going to get a little dose to hopefully help out with, of course, the abnormally dry and drought conditions. The outlook doesn't lean in a wetter direction for us, where it really focuses that better chance for above average precipitation is across the upper Midwest towards the Great Lakes region. Again, as we look beyond the 7-day, in terms of what the GFS model is showing beyond the 70. It doesn't have that hurricane in the Gulf like it showed yesterday, as expected. Those things just kind of come and go. We look for trends, and it's not trending in our direction. But what we're seeing going beyond the 7-day is not much rain, so that kind of correlates with what the Climate Prediction Center is predicting, and it even wants to hint at some snow across parts of the Midwest around the 6th. So I'm sure folks out there are going to be watching for that possibility. Again, we'll see if it shows up tomorrow. Again, these things this far out can change a lot, and we'll look and see if, we start to say, okay, it's been day after day of the same thing. Now, what we're going to be seeing in terms of temperatures, looking like we're going to be turning above average again. I don't see any frosty temperatures in our future right now. It looks like those highs will be climbing into the 80s potentially. So hopefully we don't get a big front in here, as you know, with this fall severe weather season. If we get that instability matching up with the wind shear, it can be problematic. And look at the projected low temperatures, a lot of 50s and going well above the normal low of 50 degrees. So something to watch going forward with above average temperatures as we get close to November. Hopefully, again, we don't see a cold front to kind of spark things up. So that's the way it's looking right now, Wes. Of course, keep an eye on that activity. Luckily, everything worked out, that these things have kind of lost their strength and just bring in the rain that we need. We didn't need any of the other stuff.
Yeah, and the rain, very welcome. Jill, East Alabama right now. I want to bring up the radar here so we can check in. I just want to show you again what we're looking at here across East Alabama right now. Gadsden, that rain really picking up. I want to check out the rainfall rates. You can see there's Highway 759, and it's pouring in this area. Maybe some small hail associated with this. Looks like, yeah, possibility there. We might have some, perhaps some ½ inch size hailstones you can see showing up there with the system here. Some heavy rain, but there may be some small hail about to cross around Rainbow Drive, Gadsden, Reese City also seeing those indications. But this is some of the heavier rain of the day now pushing in across East Alabama. Just another look. Let's go to the rainfall rates. You can see if this were to just stay here over the next hour, we would pick up almost 5 inches of rain. We're seeing 4.6 inch rainfall rates per hour in this area. So it is coming down right now. That is right over actually Gadsden Airport. That's where we got some of that heavy rain. South side, this is moving in our direction as well. Glencoe. Let's go back to radar. Want to go further south. Notice Birmingham got a little trailing line there. Back edge of this finally pushing on through, but not much to this. But there is a little bit of rain still showing up there in Jefferson County. Pell City, heavier rain has tapered off, but it does continue. Sulphur Springs, there's Ohatchee, the Highway 77 corridor back up towards Neely Henry. Lincoln, looks like further south there, that's right at the super speedways right there, Talladega Super Speedway. So that's where the leading edge of that heavier rain's located at the moment. But that's moving in towards Turner and Munford, east of Boga, over towards the Fort McClellan area, giving you that first alert there for that heavier rain now pushing in towards Anniston, Gadsden, and East Alabama, our eastern counties dealing with that heavier rain. Still behaving. Quick look here at the shear on this, the rotation parameters, and it looks like we're still seeing weak rotation at this time. You can see there in the green. So the green is good when we see this here on the rotation tracker at the moment. So we'll keep a watch on this for you. Another check on radar, that 7-day forecast coming up after the break.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
Being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m., WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else on your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10, on your side.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
How will the weather impact your roads? The First Alert Weather app has live traffic updates and road conditions for a safer commute. This is why we First Alert.
WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We wanted to take one last look at the radar before we send you off to those dinner plans, because we will be doing the exact same thing as this show wraps up. But Wes was mentioning, yes, we have the main line that is moving through East Alabama right now, but notice this little trailing, tiny little thin line of showers that is actually moving through Birmingham as we speak. So we'll zoom in here to where we're seeing some of that heavier rain, still some lightning on these storms. See Gadsden, you've got some of that heaviest rain moving through right now as it crosses the Coosa River, and it's not a lot of lightning. I mean, if you look at our lightning counter, 5 strikes, not very impressive. So these storms, even though they can be a little bit more robust with some of that heavy rainfall and some gusty winds, fortunately we are seeing improvements as this moves eastward down towards Talladega, right along I-20 east of Pell City. These storms are now clearing out, but Waldo, Ashland, up towards Anniston and Jacksonville, we'll go ahead and give you a first alert for those storms headed your way here within the next 30 minutes or so. And down towards Sylacauga and Goodwater, some of that heavier rain is also falling, but still not a lot of lightning on this batch. And this will be pushing to the north and east, so areas like Ashland, Alexander City, East Mill may be seeing this within the next 30 minutes. So let's look back here towards this little broken line that is moving through Birmingham. Nowhere near as robust as that batch that just came through, just some light to moderate rainfall and no lightning on that either. So we'll go ahead and look at the next 60 minutes just to give us an idea. Again, this will keep on pushing to the north and east, eventually clearing out of here. That rain should be pushing over into Georgia within the hour, and we're left behind with just a few showers and dissipating thunderstorms in East Alabama, mainly to the south of I-20. So we'll get one last look at that 7-day forecast as well. We're all very thankful that that severe threat is waning. For tomorrow, we do have a first alert for it being cooler. This is all here because another cold front is coming through. Now, it's not going to be like the record-breaking cold we saw last week, but hey, it'll still make the mornings feel pleasant, getting down into the 40s for tomorrow and Thursday, and then plenty of sunshine to round us out on Thursday. We could still have a few lingering clouds on the backside of this front for tomorrow, but overall, seeing more sunshine in the forecast, at least through Thursday. Now, notice a few more clouds around by Friday. That is all leading up to another little system coming through over the weekend. I think if it's going to bring us rain, it should likely hold off until Saturday night. At least we're keeping our fingers crossed at this time for the Magic City Classic. We're not seeing anything in the way of severe weather concerns, but do keep in mind you may need the rain jacket around if you're doing anything outdoors Sunday. Hopefully any rain will be out of here by trick-or-treating on Monday night. But you can check back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt tonight for the latest on your forecast. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Tuesday evening.